nationwide manhunt is underway in the United Kingdom for a fugitive former British soldier who's suspected of spying for Iran. Daniel Abed Khalife escaped from London's Wandsworth prison on Wednesday. Here to talk about that, Catherine Perez-Shakdam is an expert on Iran and a political commentator on the Middle East. She joins us now. Thank you for being with us, Catherine. This is an absolutely extraordinary story, isn't it? We've got motorways closed and a nationwide manhunt underway in the UK. Before we get to that, just tell us first of all, what exactly is Daniel Khalife accused of?
Terrorism, to put it quite simply. These gentlemen joined the armed forces, the UK armed forces, in 2018, and he was subsequently accused of selling critical information to an enemy country. Strong allegations are pointing towards Iran, and therefore the RSGC. And he was also accused of attempting to commit an act of terrorism by planting fake bombs onto an RAF base, which is rather concerning. And for whatever reason, someone decided that it was a great idea to put him into a Category B prison, when naturally, when someone is accused of terrorism, it should be in a more secure facility, a Category A, and it wasn't the case. So questions have been raised, and we're still waiting for some answers. But
it appears he was working in the kitchen and managed to smuggle himself out on a food truck. Is that right?
He did. It's not like a very bad Netflix series, but it did happen. Because the prison, I think, wasn't equipped, or at least didn't have the security necessary to be holding an individual that dangerous. He was able to escape, and certainly, I mean, in my mind, he didn't do it alone. So,
he's very young, isn't he?
Would suggest that he was helped.
He's very young. I think he's 21 years old.
Yes,
he was serving as a British soldier, and they're worried that he may have passed on sensitive information to Iran.
Yes, that's a problem. It's actually a really big problem, especially in the context that we find ourselves in, bearing in mind that several state officials, came out saying that Iran was the biggest threat to the UK in terms of our national security. That there's been some concern in terms of UK nationals being targeted potentially for attacks, terrorist attacks, and so again, to have this young man being accused of enabling and selling critical information to the RSGC, the Islamic Republic of Iran, poses a problem for me twofold. One, what are we doing about addressing the threat posed by the RSGC? And number two, why aren't we more careful with those people that we do manage to catch?
Well, I mean, what are the British authorities doing? Because this isn't the first incident of Iranian nationals seeking to carry out attacks on UK soil. What instantly comes to mind is the incident surrounding Iran International, the TV network that had to close down its studios briefly because of a credible threat. I mean, what exactly are the authorities doing?
Not much. I mean, as you said, airports have been closed. Certain roads. I mean, everything is being checked and rechecked. Border crossings, obviously. Whether or not they find them is a really good question. If you keep in mind again that he had ties with the ISGC, it would be very possible in my mind that either he ran away to the embassy, or maybe that he was allowed to escape, via a route that we can't check because allowed to, through some kind of a diplomatic recourse. It is problematic. And yes, the authorities are doing the best they can. I'm not dismissing this, but the problem is that, the crisis happened. We have failed, on the very top of the issue when, first of all, this young man was allowed to join the army. That's number one. Number two, he was allowed or let to sell critical information when, in my mind, it should have been checked thoroughly, and clearly the vetting process did not happen in the way that it should have. And number three, again, he wasn't put in a facility that was required to be holding a gentleman such as him, bearing in mind that he was accused of terrorism. Those are serious accusations.
Catherine Perez-Shakdam, thank you.